Hello everybody, I'm going to show you how to make a cool little twine and bead decor piece to stage in your current decor, whether that's farmhouse or coastal. My name is Anna Marie and I am the creator behind FestivityHarbor. And what I've already done is took my upholstery needle and threaded it with the twine. Okay, so now all I'm going to do is just open this container. Got a bit of tape on it. So I'm going to take some scissors and open up the lid. You want to make sure that it doesn't all spill out. What I'm looking for is these larger beads. And so now I'm just going to sort the ones I'm going to use. If you like the farmhouse or the coastal look like I do, then this little beaded accent that you could use as a bookmark or just to accent some cool artwork that you've made, it's going to be right up your alley. I'm going to pause while I continue to sort these beads, and I'll be right back with you as soon as I have enough. Welcome back. Now to do this is actually going to be pretty simple. All I'm going to do is draw the needle through the bead and then just thread it on to the needle. I like to do several of these at a time so that I'm not stringing them just one at a time. It allows you a little bit more pull when you're pulling it together. And it seems like 2 to 3 at a time work the best. Sometimes I see these plain, and other times I see that creators stain them. What these are wooden beads. You could stain them, you could paint on them with acrylic or chalk paint. Pretty much anything you want to do with them. Do you also like the farmhouse look? Or the coastal look? I'm really in love with what I call farmhouse coastal or coastal farmhouse. And what that means to me is farmhouse with a twist of being by the seaside or imagining you're by the seaside. You do not have to use a needle, but I found that using the upholstery needle and just sticking the twine through just a little bit helped quite a lot when it comes to the threading of the beads on the twine. This one has just a little bit of something stuck in here that didn't want to go by. It still doesn't want to. I'm just going to set it aside. Now, I found my beads at Michael's. I ordered them online and picked them up curbside. And this was a couple months ago that I ordered them. But I do still see that they still have some in stock. I got the twine, I believe, at my local home improvement store. But Dollar Tree also has twine in their automotive section that would work equally as well for this project. This one had a little bit stuck in a bottom right there, but I was able to clear it with that circular motion that you might have caught me doing. And we're down to the last couple of beads. Last bead here. And this one doesn't want to go, so I'm just going to set it back in the container, maybe use it another time. Okay, so this is a nice little long chain. And now all I'm going to do is take the needle back out of it, set the needle aside so I don't lose it. And I'm going to tie a knot right here at this end that had the needle on it. I'm going to tie several knots. And that's so the beads that we just threaded don't come off. Right here I'm aiming to knot on top of these knots, which creates a huge, huge knot. I'm going to just do one more knot right about that same area. And now I'm going to take my scissors and trim that area off. If I didn't want this to fray and I haven't decided whether I do or not, then I would take a lighter and just melt this edge right here. Okay. Now I'm going to push these beads back. Before I cut anything off on that end, just going to trim off a little bit of the excess right here of the twine so that it's not so fuzzy. Okay, now I'm going to cut it off right here. And now I have this little bead garland. You could technically make bead garlands for your tree, for other types of things. It doesn't have to be for the purpose that I'm going to use it for. As a creator and an artist, you know that I create many things, and this I'm creating to use in staging for my photos. So now what I'm doing is I'm going to create a tassel to go on the end right here. And it's going to be really frayed out. And to do this, I'm just going to take my fingers and wrap it loosely. See how I'm sticking my thumb in there to give a little extra give? Wrap it loosely around it. Until I create enough tassel at the bottom for me. Then I cut the twine away. Now I'm going to attach this tassel that I've made to my little bead garland. I'm going to knot it again at the top. Now that I've got that first knot tying it on, I'm going to take a bit of twine, maybe about 6 inches long, and I'm going to tie that right here at the very top. Nice and tight to create that poof that you see at the top of a tassel. And I'm also going to knot this twice. Now, you may have been wondering why I hadn't cut through here yet, and that's because I wanted to make sure that I secured everything else first. So now I'm cutting this. As some extra insurance, I'm going to tie one of the pieces that I just cut to the string I wrapped around it. I actually think I like the look of tying knots all the way around the middle. It's not something I've seen anybody else do, so it can be an Anna Marie thing. I like the look of what that's creating, so I'll continue to do that. Sort of creating a beachy knot all the way around the edge, just tying a bit of the leftover other knot, the knot that was right next to it, to the knot, to like a string that's next to it, making one knot after another. Almost done with this pretty little tassel. If you find that one edge is short, don't be afraid to fold the longer edge underneath it. We are going to trim up the edges in just a minute. Okay, now I've got a braided edge right here all the way around it. And here we have the preliminary tassel. Going to unravel some of these. Gives it a softer look. Okay, and as a last measure, what I'm going to do is make the tassel parts even to the more shorter ones. You can leave them long. You don't have to braid it around the side like I did. You also don't have to unravel it. Depends what look you want. I want something a little bit softer. So before I show you the final product, I'm going to most likely unravel the rest of these, or at least the ones on the outside. If you liked this video, please tell me so below. If you'd like to see a specific crafting video, also let me know. The next video that's going to be coming is a small wreath video using a combination of Dollar Tree and Michael's products from previous crafting hauls. And thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed this video and learned something new. Bye. Have a great day. Here's a very final look at the beaded garland that I made to use for staging in my photos when I do specific photo shoots for items I've made. Here is the tassel. I ended up using a needle, the same needle that I had the twine threaded on. It's a nice upholstery needle. And I used this right here to get into the braid of the twine and break it apart much quicker. And then I trimmed it up a little bit with the scissors. See another spot I want to grab right there, and just fluffed it out to how I want it to be. Now everybody is going to have their own taste, so while I may love this particular look, if it's not yours, you can create tassels with many things. It can be yarn, it can be twine, it can be different types of thread like embroidery thread. There are so many different ways that you can create this look and make it your own. Again, thanks for joining me. This is Anna Marie from FestivityHarbor. I hope you have a great day, and thank you so much. Bye-bye.